I'm here with my favorite story of the NFL last year. Dave Canales, these Carolina Panthers, you took risks. You made decisions that ultimately led to, honestly, what I do think was the most easy to root for team and storyline, especially the second half of the season. How are you feeling as you look back on it now, months from the season's ending?
I'm feeling really proud about the work it took, the whole group, just trying to stay committed. And you know what it's like. I mean, you see teams that, go through hard times, trials, and things like that, and it can do two things. It can either galvanize you or it can tear you apart. And I saw guys just come together, keep working, attack Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and that was the goal, is let's establish a play style that we can get used to, that we can be proud of, and that's really what I look back and I'm most proud of.
Last time you came on the show, you hadn't even had a game yet as the head coach. As you look back at it now, did it meet the expectation that you had? I mean, it was quite a journey.
Yeah, I mean, all that and more. I think, I got to give a shout out to Todd Bowles. He said, hey, 5 things you can't anticipate every day. It's going to come up. And so I think that was the part that really, took me by surprise, is how connected a head coach is to every area, all the way from the weight room all the way to the cafeteria, and especially all of the, meeting rooms and all that. Is like, you're so connected to it, you're going to hear the stories. There's great stories, there's celebrations, there's new life, there's new beginnings, and there's also people that are going through hard things and losing loved ones. And so being connected to the whole thing, I think, was something that I really enjoyed, but I didn't anticipate how heavy that was going to be.
You're not the new guy in the division anymore. Just like that, you have one season, and now Kellen Moore is the new guy. What would you tell him as you see him here at the owners' meetings, whether it's advice or if you could tell him one thing about what makes this division and being a head coach in it unique?
I would tell him, first and foremost, you're going to get it done. Doesn't seem like there's enough time in the day to do what you need to, but you'll figure it out. You're going to find a way, and there's always going to be enough time. And use your help. Use the people that are smarter than you in different areas to really be a support for you that way. So I would encourage him with that.
I don't know what your expectations were, people's expectations were. It was not, I'm sure, going the way that you wanted it to, with the talent that I know that you have with this team. Then the benching of Bryce Young happens. Huge risk. I was like, I don't know. Why did you know that was the move?
I just wanted to make sure I was making the right decision for everybody involved. And so if I'm going to ask our players, our team, to give everything they have, and I got to look at the whole situation and say, this gives us the best chance to win this week. And I wanted to create that weekly mindset, because I know how important that is. I've been on great teams in Seattle, and this year for sure has been the hardest year of my coaching career in terms of just, finding a way to win. And I know that what works in both settings is that you approach every week like its own. You take every day and you try to win that day. And if I was going to preach that, I knew I had to make that decision for the whole group. What
did you notice from, he seems, just body language-wise and as a fan, he was more confident after. What happened? What clicked?
He just really took the challenge, and he worked. I have to give Bryce all the credit. He just, every day he came in there, he studied, he worked, he encouraged, he never stopped leading the whole time. He was in front talking to the guys, fist bumping everybody coming into the locker room at halftime, working the sidelines, supporting Andy while he was out there. And so when Bryce got back out there on the field, it was like the leadership part was seamless, and all of a sudden you had a guy that was out to prove something. And for me to watch that, I just felt so much confidence in him being out there saying, look, I'm going to show you, coach, I'm the guy, and this is my team. And he certainly sent a message to me, and it was easy to just continue to build it and make the offense fit what he does well.
You guys gave the Chiefs hell, right? I remember that game. I loved watching it. I remember I was in the Bahamas babysitting my nieces, but I was watching and so excited about the fight that this team had. Now you have a year under your belt. What is the focus? If you were to have like a mantra for your second year as a coach, what would that be?
Yeah, I think it's play style. We have a young core group of guys. We were able to sign JC to a long contract, Derek Brown last year, Chuba Hubbard during the season, of course, Bryce, and adding a couple of free agents, average age of about 25. So this is a very young core group, and I want to just make sure that I set up a foundation where they can capture the play style that we're looking for, and they can own it. It's most powerful when it comes from those guys, when it comes from the locker room and they hold each other accountable on the field. But this year is just about making sure I prove it to the guys again. When we play good ball, you talked about the Chiefs game. If we play good football, we take care of it, and situationally we make good decisions. we can play with anybody. We can win any game, and we got to have that kind of belief going into this season.
8th overall pick. You mentioned J.C. Horn. Dan Morgan's a defensive guy. You're an offensive guy. Tell me about the dynamic. What's the negotiation there?
Yeah, I think to be in this position, you know, in my mind, when you have an opportunity to pick in the top 10 of the draft, we're doing all the work on making sure that we had identified the best available player. We've had some great conversations about some offensive playmakers in this class, some defensive playmakers, and we come away with it saying, okay, look, we are going to get a great player. Let's make sure we have the right guy, the right fit, somebody that we want to be a Panther for a long time. So that's really where our conversations are.
Coach, you didn't give me anything there. You got to give me something. What is there? Come on. Lean one way or the other. What'd you say?
Wide receiver.
Yeah, wide receiver. It sounds like you're getting a wide receiver.
There's some dynamic wide receivers out there. You know, Bryce certainly will take advantage of that.
I look at this and I'm like, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions over his last 3 games. Like, I wish this season didn't end when it did, you know?
Yeah.
Give me, like, this is your second owners meeting, my first one. Why is it so special? It really feels like there's a special laid back energy, but I know lots of deals are getting done as well.
I think it's really just looking around and knowing you got a bunch of people going through the same things that you are. Every year is different. No single year has been the same. You may have a good amount of your core players coming back, but for me, it's about relearning each other. It's about relearning the staff, relearning the players. They're all going to be different after these couple of weeks. Our rookies are no longer rookies, you know, and the guys who sign big contracts are different, you know, in our family lives, you know, we're growing, things are happening. And so it's just the excitement of just like figuring out what the 2025 Panthers is going to look like.
I can't wait to see what it looks like. You've got the draft, 8th overall pick. What a tremendous story. And I know that now you're just coming for people's throats. Jalen Walker is on my show on Thursday. Your face looks like you're excited about that. What should I ask him?
I think just ask him about how he impacts his teammates.
Okay.
Every single Georgia Bulldog we talk to, they talk about Jalen Walker. They talk about the accountability, the way that he pulls the whole group together, the way that he plays with his hair on fire and communicates and all those things. And so I think there's just some intangibles about the guy that are really special.
He wants to, you know, he seems like that would be a nice fit.
Yeah, he's right up the road. I mean, you know, this is what is it? Highway is it 85? You know, super
I don't know,
close. So,
but I know that you pick 8th, and I know there's a lot of connections there, and I just feel like all signs are pointing. Blink if you're drafting Jalen Walker. But he's half blinking. I don't know what that means. You'll be back.